Assalamualaikum everyone. How are you? I hope you are fine. Today we will discuss about a case related to natural selection. Before starting the lecture, I want you all to know that what is natural selection actually is. Natural selection is a theory that basically explains that the only fittest, the best fitted living organism can survive in the nature, in the universe, in the world. All right, cool. This is very simple explanation of natural selection. The nature selects the fitted, the best fitted genotype, the organism that contains the best fitted genotype. So today we will going to discuss about a case related to natural selection. We will see about a single genotype or two allelic system. The simplest model of selection is for one favored allele at one locus, means natural selection is favoring one allele, okay, at one locus. So let's see what is that case actually is. In this case, natural selection operates on only one genetic locus, means it favors the one allele. Yeah, you're right. At which there are two alleles, one dominant to the other. Of course, there will be two alleles in one genotype, and the one will be dominant and the one that is recessive. So we see natural selection will operate on such system in which way. So the relative chances of survival from birth to adult, the genotype, have a look of this genotype, capital A, capital A, capital A, small a. The chance of survival for this is 1. And have a look of this small a, heterozygous recessive, 1 minus s. Now, actually, nature operates on this capital A allele. It favors it. Nature favors this allele. Nature thinks that a capital A dominant A is dominant trait is best. All right. In that case, in whatever form dominant trait or dominant allele is present, nature will favor that genotype. Like I should say, if this is capital A that is present in this case, homozygous, dominant, capital A, nature will favor this genotype. All right, and in this case, capital A, small a, nature will also favor this genotype because it holds the capital A. Let me show you like this. Okay. All right. In this system, nature favors this particular genotype and this particular genotype. In my previous lecture, I explained what genotype actually is. Genotype is an amalgam of two alleles, and it forms from the two alleles, two particular alleles. There may be more than two alleles that are also present, but in this case, we will discuss, or we are discussing about two genes, two allele system. So this is something that nature will favor this combination because of this A present in this scenario. Nature will favor this genotype also, and the chance of the survival is 1. Basically, this 1 is actually that this particular organism, this particular genotype, the organism that have this genotype has 100% survival chances. Okay, and this small, the recessive gene, this gene has chances of survival that are, now this is the point that I want you to focus, 1 minus s. Okay, so in this form, nature will not, nature will not support this small a genotype because this is not best fitted, and 1 minus s means this, the chance of survival, this particular genotype has less chances of survival, and that the amount of less, that how can we predict that which, how many times that that is not going to be coming to the next generation, that is 1 minus s. Minus means we are subtracting the chances. This is full 100% chance, but this case we are subtracting the s. Now have a look what is that s actually is. This is called selection coefficient. S is the selection coefficient here. Selection coefficient is expressed as a reduction in the fitness. So this is basically the reduction in the fitness. This is 100% fitness, 1 is the 100% fitness, and s is the reduction. S represent the reduction in the fitness relative to the best genotype. This is our best genotype, and this is reduction that is relative to the best genotype. Cool. If S is equals to, let's suppose, if S is 0.1, the chance of the survival of AA, this genotype AA, will be 90%, and AA, the capital A genotype, and the capital A small a has 100% chances of the survival. So this one represents 100% chances of the survival. But in case if fitness chance is 50%, like this one represents 50%, then the chances of survival means 50% minus the reduction. But in this case, the chances of this genotype small a will be 45% if we considered S as 0.1. But for our convenience, we used 100% as relative fitness. Now, next point, what is relative fitness actually is. Fitness is considered as 1 in the above case, and fitness is always, like I mentioned, this one is representing the fitness that nature accept it as, or taken this genotype as fitted. Okay. Fitness is considered as 1 in the above case, and fitness is always measured as relative fitness. See, we are considering something, we are making some parameter. We are not, when we want to explain something, we explain it in terms to, so that it would become easy for the other person to understand. Same is the case, we are representing our fitness as 1. So this is actually relative fitness. 1 is not actual fitness. What is 1? 1 is nothing, but we considered it as that this one represents our fitness here. So this is called relative fitness. Okay. If S is equals to 0, in any case, it would follow Hardy-Weinberg theorem as no natural selection is acting. It is obvious that whenever there is natural selection is operating, it will support the one genotype, and it will causes reduction in the frequency of the other genotype. That is the reduction coefficient, selection coefficient that reduces. So basically, if this S is 0, means this capital A, chances of this capital A survival is also same like the chances of this genotype. So there will be no natural selection. So this is what we heard, we studied in the Hardy-Weinberg theorem in my previous lecture. Cool. Now, changes in the gene frequency is controlled by the fitness. It is very obvious that the genes, the genotype, the dominant allele or the recessive allele is not the super heroes that controls the gene frequency in the next generation. Like if this gene is dominant, I said that this capital A is dominant and this small a is recessive. But this dominance of A and this recessiveness of it does not control their gene frequency in the next generation. What if consider, what if nature selects this small a recessive trait as best fitted? What if in that case? So the chances of this genotype will be more. So the actual superhero that controls the genotype frequency in the generations is natural selection. The dominance or recessivity of any genotype do not control by the change in the gene frequency. It depends on the natural selection. If small a is best fitted, the way I explained it. Okay. Now move to the next, population change through time. To find the population change over the time, consider allele A expressed have gene frequency P. So the gene frequency of A in the next generation is P prime, and the change in the gene frequency is considered as, this is delta P, that is P minus P prime. So what does that mean? I want to consider it now. I want to study it mathematically, that what actually this case is. So we will see some calculations here and some mathematical work here. Now, I want to find that this particular gene, like I explained, this is very cool that this gene is this gene genotype is dominant, and this genotype is favored by this nature, and this is recessive genotype is not favored by the nature. Cool, this is very easy, but I want to see what practical, is it possible, or does it make any sense in the practical way? So, like I said, we will see that what are the chances. Now, I want to consider you that capital A is expressed as the gene frequency of the A in the generation. In the first generation is expressed as P. And what happened in the next generation? That is the what would be the frequency of gene A in the next generation? Then I express the next generation frequency of A as P prime. And the change among both of the frequencies in the first generation and in the previous generation is depicted by delta P. To begin with the algebraic expression and numerical value, consider change in the frequency first at birth and then at the adult stage. At birth, genotypes formed by the random mating through Hardy-Weinberg theorem, like we said that Hardy-Weinberg theorem explains the random matings. So we start from the random mating, okay? And then selection operates. Natural selection operates. So it means Hardy-Weinberg theorem will vanish. Small individuals have lower chance of survival and their frequency among the adults is reduced as shown in the figure. I want you to focus here. Focus at this part. This is birth time. The number of uh, dominant genotype is 1 and frequency is 0.01 and fitness is 1. Cool, everything is cool. This is 18. Genotype of capital small is 18 and genotype of small is 81 and the total is 100. Now frequency, you see the frequency, you see the fitness here, but what happened in the next generation, that when it becomes adult, we are not talking about the next generation, we see that at the birth and at the adult stage, what happened at the adult stage, at the adult stage and or at the next generation, the number of this genotype remains constant. The frequency is, we will talk about it later. You have to focus here now on number. The number is 1. The number of this particular genotype is 18 and the number of this particular genotype is 73. Now you see the reduction here. These both remains the same, but this, you see, at adult stage, this genotype reduced. And the frequency, we will calculate the frequency by dividing the total number of the total number of organisms or the total number of genotype of the adult stage to the individual genotypes frequency. Yes, you're right. 1 by 92, 18 by 92 and 73 by 92 and we will get the frequency. So total number of small adult is less than birth and we have to divide adult number of each genotype by the total population size to express the adult number as frequencies comparable to the frequencies at birth. Cool. Now I want you to see this formula as this is mean fitness, that is equals to p square plus 2pq plus q square 1 minus s, that is the reduction selection coefficient. That this whole equation is equals to 1 minus s q square. Cool. Dividing by the mean fitness, we want to see the mean fitness here. This is our mean fitness actually, that we are going to calculate by dividing the overall. So we get this mean fitness by this formula, 1 minus sq square. Dividing by the mean fitness in the algebraic case is the same as dividing by the population size after in the numerical example. Now this process and this process, when the both of the processes are same, but this is algebraic form and this is numerical form of what we are studying here. We want to see the algebraic form also. Let's say at birth the frequency of p square, that aa is represented as p. In Hardy-Weinberg theorem we already explained that the a is represented by p and the small a is represented as q. Cool. So capital A becomes p square, capital A small a becomes 2pq, and small a becomes q square by Hardy-Weinberg theorem. This is Hardy-Weinberg theorem actually. And the fitness, because we mentioned this in this statement also, that we start from the Hardy-Weinberg theorem at the random mating. So we applying at birth the Hardy-Weinberg equation. Fitness 1 1 1 minus s1 minus s. The q square fitness is 1 minus s. Okay. Why 1 minus s we are using here? We already explained that we are dealing with the Hardy-Weinberg theorem, but we are also dealing with the natural selection. All right, so natural selection also operates at birth. Now why we want to see adult, what happens in the next generation to this sequence, the relative frequencies, this become p square 2pq q square 1 minus s, and the frequency is given by p square divided by 1 minus sq square. This 1 minus sq square is actually this. I wanted to focus here. Wait. Okay. Cool. This actually 1 minus SQ square is 92, the total population size. Okay, this representing this 92 in numerical form. So the frequency of p square over 1 minus SQ square 2pq, we divide whole the term with population, total population size. Okay, that is our mean fitness also. Dividing by the mean fitness in the algebraic case is the same as dividing by the population size after selection in the numerical example. Notice that now the adult genotype frequencies are not in Hardy-Weinberg ratios. See, the relative frequencies and the frequencies now are not according to the Hardy-Weinberg ratio. Hardy-Weinberg ratio, that is 1. The formula, if you remember, p square plus 2pq plus q square is equals to 1. But now this case is not 1. Here this is not applying. If we try to predict the proportion of smaller from q square, remember the frequency of gene A is equals to the frequency of capital A, and half of the capital A, small a. The capital A is present in this case also and in this case also. So if we want to calculate this frequency, the capital A is present in this case and half the capital A present in the half part of this genotype is also capital A. So we consider this half part and this full part of capital A, capital A. All right. So the gene frequency of a gene A is equals to the frequency of capital A, and half A, and half of the capital A, small a. The gene frequency of a genotype A in the next generation given as, this is again the mathematical formula and I want you to learn it. P prime is basically what? The next generation, the A, that the frequency of the genotype A in the next generation from birth. Now this, the frequency of genotype A at birth is P, is represented by P, and its frequency in the next generation is represented by P prime. So we want to calculate the gene frequency of A in the next generation also, so that we can calculate the change, the net change in the frequencies. All right. So for that, in order to calculate it, we have to understand this formula. Basically, this mathematical formula represents the change in the frequency of A in the next generation. That is equals to P square plus PQ divided by 1 minus SQ square. Again, we know that if we can take this P as a common, wait, if we would do some mathematical work. If you know the rules of the algebra, like we will take this P as common in the next equation and we will derive as common, and then we will do some work. We will consider this P as a common and then we get P plus Q. Yes, then we get P plus Q. Cool. So this is for your ease. I want, if you are weak in maths, that's why. So we will take the genotype frequency of A increases in the next generation as compared to the previous one. So P prime is greater than P. All right. So what happened when we considered this P? When we considered this equation like this, we already know that P plus Q is equals to 1. All right, is equals to 1. So what left after solving this equation? This P, the P that we take common, over 1 minus SQ square. So in next step, this value would become 1 and we have the P on the numerator. Okay. So we get this formula, P over 1 minus SQ square. The genotype frequency of A increases in the next generation. Like in the P prime case, the genotype frequency increases as compared to the previous one. So P prime is greater than P. The change in the gene frequency is given as this formula. That this is delta P is equals to P prime minus P, all right, is equals to P in the numerator and denominator we have 1 minus SQ square minus P. Okay, we get this formula because we put the value of the P prime here. This is the value of P prime here that we taken from this equation. Okay, and minus P. So when we take the LCM of the denominator, we get this value P minus P plus SPQ square over 1 minus SQ square. And then when we take then we get SPQ square, as they both get cancelled, over 1 minus SQ square. Now, this is what the mathematical form. I'm just explaining you for your ease, but this is not again my job if you are weak in mathematics, but I'm explaining it for your ease. Now, the main focus is for example, if P is equals to Q is equals to 0.5 and AA individuals, small individuals have fitness 0.9 compared with capital A and capital A small a individuals, when S is equals to 0.1, then the change in the gene frequency to the next generation will be 0.1 into 0.5 into 0.5 multiplied by 2 divided by, this is what we are putting the values in this equation basically. All right, so here our S is equals to 0.1 and we are consider this that the value of P is equals to 0.5 and the value of Q is also equals to 0.5. Basically the genotype frequencies, we are consider this that assuming this that the genotype frequencies is for both the cases is 0.5 and they have the fitness 0.9 basically. All right, so what we get at the end, we get this result when we put the values in this formula. When we put the value of SPQ in this formula, we get the value like 0.0128, which is the frequency of A, will therefore increases to 0.5128 in the next generation. So this is what that is calculated in the first generation, and this is what we calculated the frequency of genotype A in the next generation. And we see there is increase in the frequency of A. We can use this result to calculate the change in the gene frequency between successive generations for any selection coefficient and any gene frequency. Now, we move to the important interpretations from the cases. What we learned from these cases, what are the important interpretations? Have a look of this. Number 1, A gene will increase in frequency until it fixed. Cool. It is fixed by what? Yes, you are right. It is fixed by natural selection. Natural selection basically fixing this A gene by decreasing the number of, by eliminating the recessive gene or the gene that nature won't find it best fitted. Okay, so by eliminating the small a from the from the scenario and increasing the A gene number and its frequency, and it will get ultimately fixed by the nature. Second point, the higher selection coefficient against the genotype, the A gene increases in the frequency more rapidly. See what we see here. What we see, we consider this as S is equals to 0.1. So the reduction is 0.1, 1 minus 0.1. And if we increase this S, let's suppose the chances of the survival of this gene increases and the chances of this genotype decreases more. Like if this is A is more, then the chance of survival in this case 0.1, we have this 45% chances of the survival for this genotype. But if we consider this 0.1, if we take more value than 0.1, greater than 0.1, the chances of the survival of this genotype will become more or less. Okay. The third point is the frequency of A slows down when it becomes common, and it would take a long time finally to eliminate the A gene. This is because the A gene is recessive. When it's rare, it is almost always found in AA individuals who are selectively equivalent to AA individuals. Selection can no longer see the A gene, and it becomes more and more difficult to eliminate them. Now, see, I want you to focus here again. nature will favor actually the A allele. In whatever form, in whatever case, even homozygous or heterozygous, nature will favor that combination or favor that genotype. Now nature will favor this genotype also and this genotype also, but nature on the other hand wants to eliminate this small a gene, this small a allele. Nature can easily eliminate this small a allele from the homozygous recessive combination, but nature cannot eliminate this small a from heterozygous genotype. Cool. And what happened next? The A will present in this form, will keep on representing in the generation after generation, and nature cannot eliminate it from this genotype pattern. Cool. I hope everything is clear to you now. Now the fourth important interpretation is we can also find S by the equation that we get from the previous calculations as this. You just need to remember this equation. Our focus is not here to the explanation of this equation. Haldane in 1924 first produced this particular model of selection. One important feature of the model is that it shows how rapidly in evolutionary time natural selection can produce changes. Basically, natural selection produces changes in the population genotype. Our genotype represents what? Do you know this? Our genotype basically represents our phenotypes also. They are controlling our phenotypes. And what are phenotypes? How we look like, our appearance. And natural selection, not even how we look like or how we appear, it also controls our metabolism rate, our how the person